Yo, what is up guys? It's time for another review of another non-related Pokemon game. It's been quite a while since I've reviewed a non-Pokemon game. I think the last one I did was Resident Evil 8 Village, which you guys can check that out in the comment section down below or in the description. I'm probably going to put it in the description. And I also reviewed a Nintendo related product, which was Hyrule Warriors, which was, god damn, it was almost 2 years ago. Holy crap, time flies. But anyways, I'm here to talk about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now, the reason why I'm reviewing this right now rather than when the game came out was I played this game for the first month it got released, or first couple of weeks, because the game is technically short. I mean, that depends how you view short. In my point of view, anything under 10 hours is pretty short, but I was able to play the game, and then I didn't 100% it until recently because I had time. I actually ended up getting sick, and I've been recovering. I feel a lot better, but I had time to actually complete this game because when I first played this game, I finished it all the way to 82% completion, and then I realized, holy crap, in order for you to get 100%, you have to do a bunch of stuff. And I managed to have time to do that stuff, and now I'm here to review that. So, if you guys want to see what 100% looks like, boom, there it is. My file, it says right there. And if you want to return to the title screen, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this review, so please be aware of, any review that pertains to 100%. It's going to be maybe a lot of spoilers. And there it is, my 100% file. Thank God, in wild mode, because we're not playing that spring breezy easy mode. Like, nah. We're playing hardcore Kirby, bruh. So anyways, on to, Kirby, the game itself. The game, for me, is 10 out of 10. I think this is one of those games where Nintendo and HAL Laboratory just knocks it out of the park. And I don't know about you, but Kirby has always been one of those games where I always enjoy it no matter what. Obviously, in recent memory, Kirby has had games where, yeah, they're not really what Kirby is meant to be. There's been a lot of Kirby fighter games, Kirby Allies and Star Allies or whatever they're called, or but Kirby is more of an exploration game to me personally. And this game, it is quote unquote open world because technically you can do whatever you want. It's not linear per se because you can do a bunch of stuff beyond just fighting them in the main levels or the overworld. But it is a beautiful game. Graphically, design wise, it's phenomenal. The movement on Kirby feels really good. And I'm just a big fan of this game. I mean, this is probably one of the rare 10 out of 10 games, and I'm going to explain why. And first of all, what's a Kirby game without its copy abilities? But with this game, you can update your copy abilities. I mean, I have a whole bunch of them. I actually managed to upgrade every single one of them. I haven't powered them up yet because I lack a lot of rare stones. I actually used them for 100% completion, which I was recommended not to do, but I kind of want to get 100 out of the way. So, obviously, one of my favorite abilities is the Morphle Knight Sword. And spoiler alert, this is probably going to be a big spoiler, so turn around. This is the most busted ability of all time. Like, holy crap, this thing is just a menace to society, bro. This thing can two-shot mini bosses, and it's just insane. It's like, what the heck is this? And this is prior to its power up. Then we have more over here. We got the classic tornado, the bomb, which have been upgraded. The driller was actually really good for me personally. If you want to avoid like fights in general, if you make circles around enemies, you just straight up just murk them. Blizzard is actually super busted for its one ability, and if you want to fight off bosses or end the story pretty quickly, this move here, the Ice Shield, is unbroken because nothing can penetrate it, and it's unlimited unless you for some reason make a shield over lava, which obviously will kill you and you take damage or whatever. So unless your enemy is throwing lava or breaking the ground underneath you, this ability is just broken as hell. And I would highly recommend this for the boss rushes. So let's go outside and let's talk about the 100% completion. So in order for you to 100% the game, you need to do a lot of things, and a lot of things lead up to the 100%. So first and foremost, you need to collect all 256 figurines, which I managed to do. And holy crap, a lot of them take quite a while to do because there are specific requirements you need to get them, and the game doesn't really tell you how to do them. It's kind of like you kind of have to figure it out on your own. For example, if you want, and obviously more spoilers, if you want to collect the fishing figurine, you need to get the big ass fish in the little pond mini game. If you want to get the chef, you need to complete frenzy mode in the Waddle Dee Cafe. If you want to get this one, you have to use all these codes. If you want to get, oh, that's the cafe, that's the same one. Sorry about that. If you want to, get this one, you have to basically all the figurines. If you want to get like the harder ones, you have to do all these mini games. This one, the cafe frenzy mode, is insane. Like, I mean, I hated this, bro. It took me a long time to figure out. Oh, you just gotta really like go ultra instinct on these goddamn meals. So, yeah. So you get a figurine for literally every mini game, quote unquote mini game or mission you have to do within the plaza, which is pretty cool. Like if you buy a certain amount of items here, you'll get a figurine. If you complete all the normal puzzles, that's a figurine right there. Another one is you have to rescue all 300 Waddle Dees, which I managed to do that. 300. There's 300 spread around all chapters or all worlds in the game. You have to collect those. Another one to get 100% is you have to upgrade all your copy abilities, which gives you the figurine for the crafter, the ability crafter. So there's, like I said, each accomplishment will get you a figurine that will aid towards your 100%. Another one, which is the biggest one you might have to overcome, eventually you're going to have to overcome, as you can see here, we're at the Coliseum. You have to complete every single boss rush. Now, we're going to go all the way to the beginning. The Meta Knight Cup is not that bad. 6 battles, you can do that. Like, I did it in 4 minutes. It's really not that hard. Ultimate Cup is not... I mean, I would say the Ultimate Cup and Meta Knight Cup should be a run in the park or a walk in the park if you know how to play the game. Ultimate Cup Z, however, as you can see, it takes quite a while. My recommendation for this is the only 2 abilities you'll probably need is the Morphle Knight Sword, which is, like I said, it's the endgame busted ass move or busted ass copy, and the Blizzard Ice ability, which lets you shield, which basically you take no damage from bosses. My recommendation is to, if you want to complete this is probably going to be the hardest thing you'll have to do in the Kirby game. I had to actually do this twice because I didn't realize, oh my god, I'm going up against like the demonic bosses, and obviously spoilers, more spoilers. I'm going to put this in the title description or title because there's just a lot of spoilers I have to talk about in this game. But these enemies are a lot stronger. They have adapted, or not adapted, they evolved some of their movesets. So you have to be really careful and understand how they maneuver, how they attack, what's their pattern. That's the best way you can beat these bosses. But using the ice shield will literally block every single attack. Even in the final boss, holy crap, this boss is throwing you like freaking final flashes and kamehamehas and nothing. You're not going to take any damage. And I really recommend doing this to get one, you get the figurines for each one, and I believe this one gets you the Morphle Knight sword, like copy ability, like how to craft it. So this is very important. And then you have these 2, which gives you the figurines, which again, it aids to your 100%. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I would say probably this will be the hardest thing to do here. And like I said, there are also mini games in the open world where you can essentially complete them. The fishing, like I said, this is also a figurine here, but this is a good way to farm coins if you're just a lazy person who doesn't care about going through gauntlets of bosses and just want to get coins very quickly. This is a good way to get coins if you're a reactive person, know how to press buttons at the right time. And so now we're going to go into our little house, and I'm going to show you my house, my crib, MTV Cribs. You can see the other thing is once you 100% the game, you'll get 10 photos. Or if you have 100%, you should be able to get the 10 photos. These are specifically based on events. Like the first top are, or the top two are about, you know, completing the main story, which obviously helps to 100%. You got to beat all the levels. You got to complete all the levels, and you have to beat the final bosses of different worlds in order to get the 100%. So, and then down below are the mini games, which I just talked about, and then you have the bottom three, I believe. So the first one, or the bottom right-hand corner, is you have to complete all 100, all treasure roads. So, you know, the treasure roads are the ones that have the rare stones. You have to complete every single one of them in all the worlds in order to go for the 100%. And then the bottom two, the remaining two are I believe the left one is the Meta Knight Cup, and then the top right is the Ultimate Cup, and then the purple frame is the Ultimate Cup Z, and then the top one is the 100%. And what I like about this game is that this game rewards you, or at least it tells you that you got 100%. Like, you know, Breath of the Wild, yeah, sure, that's a game that's always been on everyone's GOAT list. You know, sure, it tells you you're 100 out of 100, but doesn't really reward you. This game tells you, hey, you got 100%. You deserve this little picture. Or your file will say, hey, now it's a Rainbow Kirby, which is 100%. So that's pretty cool that they give you that little gratification of completing this game. So there's that. Another thing, and I think people don't really understand, is that this game is not hard. It's not supposed to be a hard game. It's a freaking kids game, you know? But in order for you to 100% the game, in order for you to be a master at this game, you have to know Kirby's movements. Shielding with this ability is busted. Dodging also works too in this game. I think overall the game just feels so smooth. It feels incredibly, like, so good. The other 100% here is you have to go into the Isolated Isles, which is a post-story, spoiler again, which means you have to go through a more of an alternate dimension or whatever we're going to call it. You have to collect every single Leon Soul, pieces of Leon Soul. So I got 300 out of 300 right here. And you have to beat the final boss over there as well. So there's that. Not much to say here. Again, it's all about completion. I love games like this where there's a completion task you have to do and to get 100%, and they reward you. That's always been my #1 thing. That's part of the reason why I love games like Kirby or franchises like Kirby, because they reward you for doing all this stuff. And definitely, when I played this game, I'm going to say right now, it's probably the best Kirby game of all time. It's #1, undisputed. I don't care what anybody says. This game, you know, the way Nintendo has been doing other franchises, you know, Metroid Prime was a really, or Metroid Dread, I should say. Apologies. Metroid Dread was a fantastic game. Hard. It was a hard game nonetheless, but it was a really, really good designed game. Then you have Super Mario Odyssey. Really great. Breath of the Wild. Really great. And now we have Kirby, and Kirby is just 10 out of 10, bro. It's just, they've been nailing these home runners, bro. It's just incredible. I don't think I'm missing anything else from the... I don't really think I'm missing a lot of stuff. If you want, I would recommend, if you want to collect all the figurines, just go through these machines here first. Each one does get expensive, so obviously the volume 1 is 10 coins. But the good thing about these figurine machines is that, let's say you got a lot of repeatables. So if your first one is a duplicate and the second one is duplicate, the third one is automatically a duplicate. Now you can get new ones, but obviously the more you collect, the harder it is to get new ones. But you're spending your coins wisely, doing your math. If you get it, like I said, if you get this first one as a duplicate, your second one is a duplicate, your third one is automatically new. And then the game will tell you, hey, you cannot collect any more from this machine, any new ones from this machine. So that means if you have an empty space in your collection, it just means you got a specific task you got to do. And so You got to take that into consideration. And a lot of these are basically story driven and collection. If you can collect everything in the game, if you complete every single mini game in the game, you get figurines. The number is going to be 256. That is the key number. Like, obviously, some of these in the bottom here are like, you know, story mode, collection, post story, you know, beating the final bosses, doing all the missions, all the mini tasks, or the mini games, I should say. Getting or rescuing all the Waddle Dees, completing every single cinema movie in the cinema theater, upgrading this music stage using 2,000 coins. Literally doing everything will get you 100%. All you gotta do is just use a little brain power. And if you're stuck, there's always, you know, guides online, but I try to avoid the guides online because a lot of things is just like, you know, it's kind of not common sense, but it's like, you know, if you're missing something, you can probably guess what it is based on the progression of each place. If you got a figurine from a specific place, that means you're probably done with it already. Now, what do I recommend from main gameplay? So, if you want, I'll show you probably like a location. Actually, this is a pretty good example of what Kirby is all about. And Kirby's all about exploration. And I'm not going to show you that, because screw that. I'm actually going to go to a specific place. And that's also what's really good about this game. It tells you how many Waddle Dees are missing, how many you've collected. And then you have Treasure Road List, which tells you, hey, you got 10 out of 10. You got 13 or whatever. If you're missing one, it tells you to explore a place. You can explore the overworld map, and it's not you know, it's not visible to a lot of people, but just press A and random place until a prompt tells you to press A, and most likely there's something there. So I'm going to show you what exactly Kirby is all about. Now, Kirby, I recommend, like I said, it's supposed to be a kid's game, but if you want to get 100%, you're going to have to use a little brain power. And this is a pretty good thing about Kirby levels, that they tell you where the Waddle Dees might be or what specific places you need to look into. So for example, you might be wondering, oh yeah, I'm going to go through this level real quick just to show you, oh yeah, if I know the mechanics of the game, whatever, you know, you can beat the bosses here or enemies very quickly. You can do no damage runs if you want to do that, but, you know. But the good thing about Kirby is if you want to use your big brain moves, you have to know how levels work. And so, a lot of times, the hidden Waddle Dees or hidden treasures or hidden, like, actual missions, you gotta understand where you are in the level. For example, I'm looking around, I don't see really anything that's standing out, of course. Until I see something right here, like, hey, there's a hidden wall here. Now, if I'm over here, if I'm running through this level, you're not obviously gonna notice it from here, because, like, you can't see it. So if you get up close, all you gotta do is just have a good field of vision, or understand that there are hidden things all over the place, and there are actual secret levels, quote unquote. But if you go through here, boom, you just got yourself a ton of coins. And I believe one of the missions here is to find the side alley, which actually this is it right here. So it's all about having an open eye, exploring the world. It's not just about linear, going straight ahead, seeing their bosses attacking you or items right there. It's all about having a good eye, because there are a lot of places like this in Kirby where there might be places like this that are hidden in plain sight, and you won't be able to notice that. So it's all about using your eye. Kind of like in Breath of the Wild, where, you know, there are certain places where if it looks too good to be true, it's probably something going on right there. But other than that, yeah, that's what I really like about this game. Yes, I wouldn't say it's completely open world, but you gotta have an open mind in order to find specific stuff like that. So, stages, like I mentioned, you have to collect or rescue all 300 Waddle Dees to get 100%. You have to get all Treasure Road stuff, complete them. You don't have to do the target time. I know some of them I don't have them because, holy crap, I don't know how people do it. But you just have to get every single one of them, unlock all of them. And the only way to unlock these is by upgrading your copy abilities. So once they upgrade, they will open up in the main world. So that's pretty cool. And I think, honestly, that's it for the 100%. Just do everything. Do literally everything possible. do the mini games, do the Coliseum, which I believe is the hardest part of getting the 100%. Upgrade all copy abilities, get all copy abilities, get all figurines, upgrade the music stage, do the post story, get all 300 souls, beat the final bosses, literally do everything. If you're worried about the coins, if you're short on coins, don't worry, because there are levels that you can easily get like 200, 300 per level. And obviously I replay levels in order to get all the Waddle Dees, and that levels up, or that goes through very quickly. It will go up very quickly. So yeah, other than that, phenomenal game. 10 out of 10. I highly recommend this. This has to be on your Switch library. This has to be. Just like Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. This game has to be in your library. I don't care what anybody says. This game, this Kirby game, bro, is the goated Kirby game. Modern Kirby, this is it, bro. If there's another Kirby game in the future, I hope it's like not a copy, but like its influence, its foundation is this game, because this game is chef kisses, phenomenal, 10 out of 10, and that's my review, 100%. See you guys on the next one. All right, peace. Also get this game, it's phenomenal.